What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles. You are listening to Lyles Movie Files. We got a big show. We're going to talk about movies that have the most satisfying endings. I've been watching a few lately, and the endings are just terrible. So it made me start thinking about, hey, what are movies that get the job right, that stick the landing, that make me go, this movie was great, even if the rest of the movie wasn't good, but the ending really delivered. So we're going to talk about that and break down our choices on those. I started off with 5, but then I started making my list and was like, this is too restrictive. So we're going to go up to a full 10. So let's see what things we come up with. But first, let's talk to the fellas. What's up, Chief?
Hey, what's going on, Jeff? What's up to the rest of the gang? And
Little brother, how you doing?
Doing good, bro. Ready to do some podcasting.
Jay King, welcome back to the show, man. I know you were under the weather last week. How are you today?
I'm doing well, man. Xyzal is a wonderful drug. That's not a plug. It's just what it is. It clears up your sinuses. Glad to be doing it again, y'all. Let's give them a good show.
All right, let's give him a good show, Jamal. Let's do it. That's a mission objective for tonight. First off, I want to hear your take on this one. The Whitney Houston hologram tour plots its first 2020 date. It's going to launch January 23rd in Mexico and wraps April 3rd in Belarus, with the North American shows tentatively planned for fall 2020. Fellas, what do you think of this? I have thoughts, but I want to hear yours first. Jace, let's start with you.
I'm just trying to think, like, if I had a chance to see, like, a Tupac hologram tour, would I have done that? If that's the case, I would just stay home and listen to the records. I'm like, this isn't anything that I'm going to be appreciating. It's like, oh, you have a video hologram. That's really impressive, but I'm not seeing the artist, so what's the point of being here? I wouldn't waste my time on it.
Chief, you checking out this Whitney Houston hologram tour?
is that basically what it is? You show up and then you watch a hologram of somebody?
Yep.
Is it free?
No, sir. You are paying for it.
No, that's just that doesn't make sense, man. That doesn't even make sense. I mean, if that's the case, then why doesn't a band just record themselves and then do a hologram tour while they sit at home? If people are gonna pay to go see something like that, like I would just, if I was Bon Jovi or something, I would just do, record myself and then send the hologram out there to perform every night while I write to the profit.
Hey, Chief, the Stones are old enough. I wouldn't be shocked.
I'm just saying that doesn't even make sense to me. Like, I'm gonna go out there and then pay for a hologram. That doesn't make sense. So, hey, that's not for me. But I guess what am I gonna do? I'm not that age.
So we're over to J King. Are you gonna go chuck out some ducats for this thing?
Oh, of course. And I'm gonna bring me some fruit and things to throw, because I'm an asshole. And I'll be the one throwing things at the hologram so that part of it could go viral. I want you to see me being a jerk so I can sit as close as I can so I can throw things at the hologram just to see if there's any reaction.
Sir, we're going to need you to leave.
I'm getting put out. I'm probably getting put in handcuffs or something like that. This is stupid. Why do we need it? Why do we need the hologram of anybody to come out there and perform their hits? They're dead. Let them rest in damn peace, please. I mean, she's dead.
Javon, what kind of makes me curious, I wish there was something that people could access old videos of stars and watch them and reminisce from their prime.
That's something, Jeff, that maybe at some point before we're old men, maybe there'll be this, like, video tube site. Maybe.
No, I think maybe a box-like thing.
Yeah.
Huh.
Or a station dedicated to playing videos and music.
Maybe something like that'll come along.
Hopefully.
We can only hope.
We'll put a pin in it and see what happens.
We need to talk to somebody about that, seriously.
We do. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
All right, next up. Saturday Night Live made some headlines because they announced their cast. One of these new cast members was Shane Gillis, who made headlines because people dug up his podcast recordings where he made some very scathing racist remarks about Asian people. And after the buzz and outrage continued to grow, SNL decided, yeah, this dude's not worth it. Let's get rid of him. But there's another side of it. The Variety reported that Lorne Michaels actually wanted to have a comedian who was more appealing to conservative viewers, kind of to balance out the more liberal slant with the Trump bashing that is on pretty much every episode. Do you guys think that in today's political climate, it's worth having a balanced and objective, more of a Fox-like approach to comedy on SNL?
I don't, because I mean it's like it's comedy. Everything you should be able to say something that's funny no matter who. I mean, it's like there's never been. I mean, as far as I know, it's like most of like the redneck comedies were funny because they talk to a certain audience. It's like if Trump does something stupid, it should be funny for everybody. If you're totally invested in him, that's one thing. But what the guy was, I mean, whatever this dude was saying, it was just racist. It wasn't conservative. It was racist. I mean, it's like, oh, I mean, I'm not gonna repeat the joke. I mean, what he thought was a joke, but it was like that wasn't even like Sam Kinison, Richard Pryor type, like just like it's now offensive. It was like, nah, that was just racist, dude. Like, I mean, there's no other way to spin it. It was just racist stuff. So why act like you need to have this dude on?
Timelessly racist. J. King, what do you think about this?
Look, comedy is always one of those things where we police the language of everything now, and unfortunately, that exists in comedy. We're policing language, we're policing everything. We're policing comedy now. It's a dangerous time to be a comedian, I think. And this guy he's another victim of political incorrectness in his comedy, coming back to bite him in the ass of his career. I listened to what he said. There's been worse things said. There's been worse things said and done by SNL comedians. But we live in a different era. It's a different era. I can't imagine Adam Sandler, Norm Macdonald. I'm just thinking of those who have offended in some kind of way or done something or said something. I say, well, that's racist, if only slightly. We live in a different era, man. It's a different time. Anything you say can and will be held against you in the court of public opinion, and you got to remember that. When I listened to what the guy said I think that was from his podcast, somebody else's podcast, it wasn't so much that it was racist, it's just that it wasn't funny. And if you're gonna be on SNL, at least my ass is always that you be funny. This is a comedy institution, and they've produced some people who, for what it's worth, have been some of the biggest names in comedy over the last 40-some years, and they've produced people you wonder why the hell how they even got on there in the first place. I don't know what this guy could have done, but I don't feel like he would have. It's a big loss in that regard. But to the end of whether or not it's gonna have a big impact on the show. We didn't even know what he had to offer. And plus, with the whole slant of SNL trying to reach out to or have a broader audience, that's just a lame excuse. When has SNL ever cared about the conservative opinion when it came to the jokes that they put out there or the spoof of the political landscape in America anyway? When have they ever cared about that? They don't. So it's like that was Lorne Michaels basically giving a Jay Gruden explanation as to why you sat down your best football player. It's lame. Just enough. Just say you got rid of him because of the public outcry, the outrage of what he said.
Oh no, that's what that's the story. Mm-hmm. They were just saying that they actually hired him to appeal to more conservative viewers.
It's still an excuse. Yeah, it's still an excuse. Either way, yeah, whatever.
All right, this week was crazy with the amount of remakes that were announced that are going to be coming to the big screen, to TV, to streaming platforms. So we've got a Saved by the Bell revival coming where Zach Morris is going to be the governor, who's made some changes to the school system. So AC Slater and Elizabeth Berkley, what was her character's name? Help me out, fellas. Jesse?
Jesse Spano.
Jesse Spano. They're going to be back at the school trying to help Bayside get everything back together. We got a potential House Party remake in the works. And we're also having some early conversations about a potential Princess Bride remake. And then we've also got a Battlestar Galactica remake coming. So we got a lot of unoriginal ideas coming soon. Are you guys excited about any of them? And do you think maybe, just possibly, we need to start coming up with some new ideas as opposed to regurgitating old popular ideas? Chief, let's start with you.
So you're saying that House Party was a kid and play thing, man. You can't. How do you duplicate? Like, didn't they do like a How High with like a little Uzi Vert or something, or a little Yachty or something that nobody watched?
Nobody watched. Yeah.
Oh, you weren't joking.
I really thought even like, what are you talking about? Like,
no, that's real.
Those are real rappers.
I'm dead serious, man. They did a remake of How High or something, man. Listen, certain things are iconic because of the people and who they were at the time. Now, if you want to, it reminds me of Blue Magic. The scene in Blue Magic, and he was like, this is Blue Magic. You want to call it by something else and put it in another bag and call it dog shit if you want to, but don't sell this product like this. This is already fine the way it is. So if you want to come in and bring other actors together and do something other than that, don't name it House Party, don't name it whatever, but they do their own thing, then that's fine. But when you start coming out with these directs, like, we're going to do House Party, we're going to do this, that's just, to me, it just ruins the whole thing. Like, they couldn't do something else, their own variation of a party or whatever. It has to be a play off the original. They're killing me with these remakes. They are killing me with these remakes because I don't think any of them have been good. They're just like, we go. Who's like, I'm not going to see them, and the kids. No kid born nowadays who would go see that is, saw House Party. They have no idea what the hell House Party is, the original. So, like, it's just whatever. The money grab, man. Put something together. I'm gonna do this. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see any of them. I'm not a remake. You're ruining the whole thing by remaking some of the best shows that we had coming out. You know what I mean? I'm not going to see them. It's a complete disgust for remakes, especially remakes of a remake from like a year ago, and then you do it, wait 2 years, and then you remake it again. It just disgusts me. No, I don't want to see another House Party. You can't beat the original. You know what I mean? What's the dude? Boogie with the Hoodie, A Boogie with the Hoodie. They're gonna do a Menace to Society remake with him? You know what I mean? No, these guys. No, nobody wants to see that. That's it, man. I'm not gonna see no remake of these guys. None of these remakes. It's all stupid. Call it something else. Change it. Stop taking from the original and ruining it.
I agree. Jay King, what's your take on him?
Hey, Chief summed it, man. You look, these movies belong in a time capsule. There are certain stories. Look, I understand every so often there are stories that Hollywood will. These stories lasted until the test of time. Shakespearean stories. How many Shakespeare stories do we still see to this day? Just another variation of it. I get that. Great stories are timeless. They're going to be told. But when it comes to these movies that were made during a certain era, they spoke to the people of those times, right? The House Party, which hey, people ain't gonna stop partying, but teens having a house party because the parents are away is something that you rarely hear of or see today. You know what I mean? Without over supervision and all that, so it won't resonate the same way that film will did when it came out 29 years ago now.
Yeah, it's been a second.
It's been a second. It's been a minute. So it's not just House Party. It's any of these movies that belong in a damn time capsule. You almost can't remake these movies given the way the culture is today. Um, for what it's worth, the biggest adventure of House Party was kid getting to the party. Today he just catches an Uber. You know what I'm saying? You just negated the whole movie. Like it's like redoing Adventures in Babysitting.
Right.
They might.
Today,
I think that was a theory they were going to try and remake that.
they were gonna. But how do you do that movie today? It'd have to be in another country. Because today, in today's society, a homegirl who was at the bus station
Where's
calls an
my
Uber,
phone? Right.
or she
Where's
has
my
a
phone?
cell phone. Right?
Mhm.
You can't read these movies belong in a time capsule because they were made during an era where they belonged. They belonged in that era. I think the real issue is, Hollywood's scared to take any risks. They rely on familiarity, nostalgia. Nostalgia breeds familiarity. I'm comfortable with this movie because I've seen it before. That's what they bank on. But the thing is, I remember this movie and I liked it then. The chances are I'm not gonna like it now. I'm in my 40s.
Mm-hmm.
I
Like
loved
makes
House
sense.
Party when I was 10,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know if I want to watch it now with young rapper Lil House Phone or Lil Turkey Sandwich, YBF, whatever their little dummies names are these days. I don't want to watch them in a movie that featured, Martin Lawrence and Kid and Play and, Daryl Chill Mitchell. And, I don't want to watch that.
Little
I
turkey
really don't.
sandwich.
Little House Phone. I don't know who these guys are, man. The
House phone
kids
X.
may. House Phone X. But you got to throw some three stupid letters behind it now because that's the new thing.
Just piece it together.
Yeah,
House phone X 23.
2 3 or YBF. That's
Right.
the names. I mean, I don't look these whether it's this movie or Gremlins or Weekend at Bernie's. You loved it 30 years ago. Here it is again. I don't want to see that, man. Tell me a different story.
Good
Take a
luck.
chance. Why don't you?
All
These
right.
movies belong in a time capsule. That's all I can say.
So Gunner, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you. How's it going?
Good. We're talking about movie remakes and TV remakes, and I know you have a couple thoughts on that. So, what's your take on these latest announcements of Saved by the Bell, House Party, Battlestar Galactica, etc.? The floor is yours.
It's ridiculous. It's showing how the next generation of awesome creative people are just not creative anymore. They don't know what they're doing. So they're just like, well, let's reach back to nostalgia. And I'm like, who are they reaching to? Us who don't want it? That doesn't make any sense. Why in the hell do we need another Saved by the Bell? Like that doesn't even make any sense. I'm okay with continuations of series, but reboots and all this is ridiculous. There's no reason. Didn't they do that with Saved by the Bell? Not once,
Several times.
not twice,
College years.
Several
but
times.
3 times. Yes, three. Because don't forget, the original Saved by the Bell that we love, that whole block there, was still after Good Morning Miss Bliss, right? A show that they barely launched, and then they threw it out there, right? So no, this why? All these movies still like I still haven't seen RoboCop, Ghostbusters. There's that. Why would I watch these movies? I'm like these things belonged back there. It doesn't like why would I need a modern version of any of these things? I just it blows my mind how many more of these are coming out, and I guess it's because they're breaking even or doing better than breaking even. So everybody's like, well, let's keep doing this stuff, this crap. I, I just don't understand. I just saw another one that said that they might be a rumor is flowing that they're going to do another Princess Bride. Like what? Of all movies to remake, like you're remaking movies that are like quotables, like in normal conversation, like you know what I mean, like all the time, and this is starting to get ridiculous. What else is coming out that nobody wants to see? I'm missing one major one that really pissed me off.
All of them.
Any of them.
Yeah, I mean, really, it is any of them. I can't stand it. I mean, it just. Yeah, I mean, I was like, nah. I almost went to see Ghostbusters because I was like guilted as a cisgender, you know what I mean? Like male, straight male. I was just like, oh, I'm starting to get guilted into seeing this. Then I remembered I hate remakes. I don't watch any remakes. So I was like, screw y'all. Y'all can have this crap, and it ended up being crap. So no,
the movie's not bad. It just was.
Whatever.
It was what
because you had
most of those
many
movies are unnecessary.
Well, yeah, I mean, none of these things are necessary. No remake is necessary. That's fine. Hell, Judge Dredd wasn't even necessary, but it was still a good remake because it wasn't even a remake. It was just followed the damn comic. So, moving on. But Ghostbusters, I'm just like, okay, they didn't even have, like, the same type of cast, only women. It was all headliners. And what's her name? From Saturday Night Live.
Leslie
So I'm
Jones.
like, there was no like straight man or straight woman. There was no, you know what I mean? Everybody was just doing their stick, and
Everybody was equally wacky.
everybody was equally wacky and equally funny. There, like not everybody should be, Peter Venkman. You know what I mean? You needed a
That's
straight
true.
person
There
like
was no
Egon.
Egon. Yeah.
Yeah, and Ray just being Ray, right? Like the random dude. And then of course, the black person is just still going to be Winston. So there you go. Like but we're not going to go there because I can't stand her either. But they did do her wrong in that one. They really did. So I'm good. Like I'm really good on every remake ever. Like, again, I know I'm missing one that really pissed me off recently, and I just can't think of it. Like I'm still on like the fact that we really don't need a sequel to Coming to America. Like that also shows another sign of not being creative because it's like, okay, let's just do a sequel from something that was 30 years ago plus. So nah, I mean I'll go see it before I go see something that's just a complete reboot of something. Like
What about
that
the
doesn't.
Dolomite from Eddie Murphy?
There it is. I thought that was a story of how Dolomite was made. Am I wrong about that?
I don't know.
No,
It is.
It's kind of like a biopic. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a biopic of
how Rudy Ray Moore
mostly
became, how he created the character and all that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's totally different than a remake of. That's totally different than Superfly, right? Like, there was no way I was watching that movie. There was no way in hell I was watching that movie. I was like, first of all, y'all remaking the blaxploitation of the blaxploitation movie, and if you're gonna do it, like the Superfly was actually, it belonged in that time. That's when you can do certain things. So I don't even know what they did or how they did it now. I don't know what happened. So like, what's the pimping thing that you would do now? Like, I mean, back then it was like, yo, I'm gonna have mad women's and all this stuff and do all this cool stuff and kick butt. Now what it is, it like I'm gonna have. Well, I don't even want to go there, but yeah, I'm like, I'm just like you have no idea how every time I see another remake, every time I'm like, why is this necessary? And I wish to all heavens and hell, whatever you believe in, that people would ask that question before they even get into the boardroom. Like, why would we need this? And the whole and please, I know the answer is going to be money, but we just don't need another remake of anything. Let's let certain things be in the past. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, we're going to have a remake of the Flintstones movie. I mean, they're remaking bad movies. Might as well, you know what I mean? I'm like, why do we need a remake of certain? It was a really bad. I don't know why I'm blanking on this. It was a bad. Oh, Set It Off.
Oh,
you
right.
weren't happy about that, were you?
Oh my God, first of all, that was a terrible movie. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, we love Set It Off. No, you like Set It Off because you needed a black movie at that point in time because John Singleton stopped making so many movies at that point in time in '90s in that end of the '90s there, right? The last one I think he did was I don't remember, but before so you needed somewhere, and there was like a wonderful cast supposedly, and it just didn't
It
work.
had Jada
Like,
Pinkett. It wasn't a wonderful class. It wasn't a wonderful cast.
It was
Jada
a fine
Pinkett was
cast. It was a fine cast of black women, and I mean that in both sense of the word. It was a fine cast of black women. Queen Latifah was just like wonderful. Queen Latifah was the best part of that whole movie. That was where you're like, oh, Queen Latifah can actually act. Oh, she's definitely gay now. So that's cool. And shoot, I remember that scene. I know y'all remember that scene, so I don't even trip. So I'm like, yo, and then when the way she died the best. Vivica Fox died the worst. I wish she was gonna run. She was gonna make a break for it. Like, that's like when my son is like, we're telling him no, and he's grabbing something. You know what I mean? Like he has something in his hand he's supposed to have. My son like throws it and makes a break for it. Like, but he's like one. This is like a trained actress who they couldn't write something better. Like I don't know, that was just dumb. So and then like just so happens old girl's bus just rolls by and they don't see her in the bus. They had no tinted windows.
They were letting her get away. They wanted one of the team to get away and live the life for all of them.
That was dumb. And then she's still gonna make a phone call to what's his name, and he ain't gonna do nothing. And ain't nobody recording this, really? Nah, B. Like this movie was terrible. Go listen to the soundtrack. Soundtrack was excellent. It's one of the best soundtracks of the '90s, straight up. I put that against Above the Rim for real. And yeah, Above the Rim for real. And I'm like, why do we need a remake of that?
Indeed.
What are they possibly going to reintroduce or introduce?
Well, they could have new. This could be a vehicle to help new African American women get into a movie that everybody loves, and now we can actually we provided a vehicle that we can actually provide the new actor. We're going to have
they're going to have Angela Bassett.
No, it's going to be Zendaya. It's going to be the girl from Deadpool. It's going to be
Zazie Beetz.
I'm sorry, the girl.
Zazie Beetz and Tessa Thompson.
That are out.
Yes, Tessa Thompson's definitely going to be there. So she can play our gay character. Yes, everyone. Yes, we're going to have them down.
Janelle Monáe.
It's one more light-skinned one. We get who's the other light-skinned one? Because you right now you're showing me that we actually might need.
Taraji B. Henson will be the leader.
There you go. Yeah,
there you go. That
should be Queen Latifah.
Probably
cast this whole movie.
Yeah. Done. You're welcome, Hollywood. All right, let's move on.
I have a question. Wasn't Widows supposedly like a weird Set It Off thing? I didn't see it, but I heard
no, it's totally different. Totally different.
Good.
Yeah,
what? A whole nother idea.
The opposite of Set It Off. We're going on to the movies that have the great ending. I'm not saying this is the definitive, your top 10 bullet to your head. What's the movies with the best ending? Just movies that, as you think of, hey, these are my 10 movies that have like really great endings. And now your ending can be the last 3 minutes or like the last act, whichever way you want to go with it. So let's see. Let's start off with Chief. Let's see what you've got.
All right. So the best endings. Number one, I went with Big Trouble Little China. And the reason why I went with that ending is because at the end of the movie, he didn't go with the girl.
Right.
Now, I was a youngin' when I was watching this joint, and of course, I'd have been conditioned at that point. The movies, at the end of the movie, Romancing the Stone, all these movies that you watch when you're coming up, they always end up with the girl at the end of the movie. So there was a point in time she was like, she was looking at him. He was like, nope. And he hops in his rig, and then like he kind of just driving down the road, like, what a guy like me does on a night like this? Well, let me tell you. You know what I mean? And he's headed out of San Francisco. He's done his thing. He's, he's putting that woman in the rear view mirror. Like that was the first time I've ever seen that in a movie where the dude's like, she's like, take me, I'm yours. Nah, I'm good. You know what I mean? Especially after all the things he did to save her. He was
Right.
like, I'm cool. I'm going to go ahead and head out. I got some things to deliver. I got my rig back. So that was my first one. My second one was The Matrix. The first one now. The end of that movie, the last, like the last 5 minutes of that movie was like amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the whole movie was great all the way through, but the last 5 minutes was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
My third one was Bop 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 Bop, King of New York. It was like after everything went down and everything, you just see the gun just flop in his lap. You knew, Frank White had died in the back of that taxi cab trying to escape the police. And that was like, you wanted that for Frank. You know what I mean? When you first saw it, he was getting out of jail. You was like, damn, Frank, we didn't want to see him go back to jail. And the cops were closing in on his cab. And matter of fact, the cab driver had ran out. And he was just kind of sitting in the back of the cab like, it's over. And like I said, next thing you know, you just see his pistol flop over. You like, damn. Usual Suspects.
Mm-hmm.
Another one where the last 5 minutes of that show, when he's sitting there, Chaz Palminteri, or I can't even say his name, but he's putting everything together, the barbershop Cortez, the redwood trees, and then my man just starts walking, and you're like, damn. Then you just start to think back, and you're like, man, I got to watch this again, because I got to see, like, he's been with them the whole time. I just got to see how this all takes place, knowing that he is rolling with him the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So, great ending.
Yeah.
Another great ending, which is my fifth one here. And I had there's a lot of good movies. Jeff, I talked to you the other day, which I guess maybe kind of got this thing started was my Die Hard, which I love an ending, fellas. This is not my pick, but I'm just saying I love an ending where the villain dies properly. You know what I mean? And I didn't pick one for any of these here, in a sense, but I'm just saying that I love an ending when a villain dies properly. But my last one is Shawshank Redemption. I enjoyed like that ending where, he's finally going to meet his man on the beach after finally, what was his name? What the hell was the guy's name? And So was Red. He put So was Red under it. Yeah, but no, the old man who killed himself.
Oh, Brooks. Brooks was here.
Brooks was here. And then and So was Red. And then the next thing you know, you see him just walking down the beach towards Andy Dufresne, and you're just like, man, that joint ended pretty good. So those are like my five that I could think of, like really kind of off the top of my head, a really good ending.
Good deal. All right, so like I said, you can do 5, no more than 10, but yeah, so just stick to that. Jace, what's your list? Do you like how Jace always flips and rattles his paper over? Like, he can't ever have it queued up. It's always, let me make sure that you guys know that I got my paper together.
I actually pressed the wrong button. I tried to press it. I thought I was on mute, but I pressed the wrong one. My bad.
This is every time. You always like, let me show you guys how studious I am by pulling up my sheets of paper. Go ahead.
I did my homework.
Right.
Yes. Okay. My first one was Revenge of the Sith. After all the lightsaber fights and all the drama of the prequels was done, at the end, it was the bad guys had won, and it's just looking. I mean, Padme is dead. Everything's looking bad. But then everybody goes to where you expect them. Like Obi-Wan goes to Tatooine with Luke. Leia's with what's his name? Bail Organa.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and there's like, even with all the bad that's happened, there's still hope in the galaxy. Like in 20 years, it's not going to be so oppressive. So I like I like a good movie with hope at the end. I too took my next one. I too took Usual Suspects, because honestly, when Kevin Spacey just like gets in, it's like freaking cop. I mean, just like this cop at the end of it, he's so smug. He's like, yeah, I knew I broke him, but I was trying to get the big man. You know, I figured I was just like 5 minutes away. I knew I could get him. And then he just figures out, like when he figures out he's been played by the head dude, and he's been talking to him all day. He's just like, I feel like the biggest schmuck in the world. And then him, like, Kaiser Sose switches the walk. It's like, damn, okay, yeah, y'all got it. Third one was The Godfather. I think that was probably one of just that's one of those last 5 minutes of that movie is just perfect. It's you get Michael Corleone just like, hey, okay, it's like don't ask me about my business. It's like, I mean, after his sisters come in there calling him, oh, you cold-hearted bastard, you waited till your father was dead before you killed him. Oh my God, Michael, no.
She's hysterical.
I mean, just this one time, you can ask me about my business. Did you go? No. Go. Okay. I'll make you some supper. Wait a minute. You just lied right to my face. And then Nero closes the door, just like, yeah, he did. It's just perfect. The fourth one I have was The Dark Knight. Also, that's another one of those, like that last 10 minutes of that movie, that everything you saw, it's not even the Joker part. It's literally Harvey Dent, Gordon, and Batman. It's just like, it's like, we screwed up big time, and this is the repercussions of it. And then just like Gordon, Harvey Dent's speech then is just perfect. But then Gordon's just like, hey, we gotta make this right, and we're gonna make this evil pact almost to make it good for everybody else, which I thought was great. And my last one is Superman the movie. Superman, after he has this conversation with his biological father on why he shouldn't be involved. He should just let the people live their own lives, and him just lead an example, not get involved, just sit on the sidelines. Where he actually decides that's not a good way. It's like, I can't sit there and let these people suffer, even no matter what. He just takes the big step, rewinding time, gets rid of an earthquake, gets rid of a nuke, puts Lex Luthor in jail, and then flies off over the world. I mean, you just can't beat that. So that's my list.
All right. Gunner, what's yours?
Okay. I think one of the very first satisfying endings I ever saw, that I remember actually seeing as a kid, was Karate Kid 1. The first one. The only real one, right? 2 was fine. 3 we don't talk about, and we don't do the Karate Kid that was actually in China. He was learning kung fu. Moving on. So yeah, no, this kid was getting his ass whooped the whole time. He was actually probably 20 then or something. I forgot. But yeah, he was getting his ass kicked the whole time, the whole movie, man. Like, they were really whooping his ass, like real 80s bully style, like not even corny, like nah.
Get him, Johnny.
Kicking your ass. Yeah.
They were.
And then one dude was like, all right, yo. Like, he even had one dude in the crew like, yo, man, you kind of killing this dude, man. He's had enough. Oh, man. Oh, and then they still got him freaking snap his knee, man. And then they came back, man. But the whole thing was the whole tournament is the satisfying ending to me, man. The whole tournament from start to finish. You see everybody coming together. You see Daniel's inspirations, Ali, and Mr. Miyagi, come together and yo, we're gonna help you out here in some way. Little things like that in older movies you can't recreate or remake. So like those little things that are like subtle enough, they're wonderful. And then you got the whole Best Around movie that was actually supposed to go to Rocky 3, but they were like, nah, I don't know. I forgot how that worked out. I think they were supposed to get Eye of the Tiger, but then something else worked out or something like that. I forgot. But that, and then of course, the crane kick that lasts through the test of time, especially and made it through every culture in the '80s. Like it was wonderful. So that's Karate Kid. I mean, how can you not get inspired by that? The dude was getting his ass kicked the whole time. Dude even tried to learn karate, found out the same studio was where his peoples were, just like or where his bullies were. Like how that's terrible. Like think about that. If that happened to you, like that's terrible. And then you go in there and this dude that's your maintenance dude's like teaching you karate. That's what's up. No, man, your super is teaching you karate, dude. Like that's what's up, man. Can you imagine Bookman wasn't teaching nobody no karate? Anyway, I thought that was. I mean, it's just inspirational altogether. And then that whole end scene. I mean, talk about satisfying endings.
Mm.
All right. Keeping with the same vein of fighting people, movie called Fighter. Mark Wahlberg, I know, and Christian Bale though, who right off of I think it was Dark Knight. I don't think it was Batman Begins. I really think it was Dark Knight. I'm trying to remember. Anyways, he
right.
played. I think I'm right,
you're
right?
right.
Which is like holy crap. And then he plays this role, Dickie Ward, who was kind of This is a boxing family, a real life boxing family from like Boston-ish area, and Mickey Ward was the one that they focused on in this movie, and it was just like that they went through so much crap through that whole movie, and you'll find that theme in everything that I say about this movie, about all my entire list is probably like that. They went through so much crap, and then in that ring they threw it all out there, and actually that's one of Christian Bale's lines, right? So it was. I recommend that to anybody that's like feeling down. Just watch that.
If you're randomly curious, Terminator Salvation was his next one, followed by Public Enemies, and then The Fighter.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
man, he had a busy couple of years there. Wow. Anyways, okay, so there's The Fighter. So keeping with again same vein of organized fighting, Ali. Because they actually went into depth. I mean, it wasn't a great movie. I know it didn't do extremely well as everybody wanted, but I thought the acting was decent. And they went in on kind of what he really went through with the whole court cases and refusing to go to Vietnam and all that, right? So, and then they ended, of course, with the Thriller Manila. That was No, it was Zaire. I'm sorry. It was Zaire. So I'm sorry. But they actually like ended it with the whole George Foreman fight. Like that was the way it was more. It was one of those other examples of how the musical score actually makes that scene. It was one of those mini examples of that, right? And that made that real scene because he was down and he finally got back up. Like that's crazy. We all know how that all ended later on, but I think they picked the right point in time in his life for that kind of inspirational part and that wonderful score. So that was cool. So now we're done with fighting, kind of. I'm throwing out Tombstone because, I mean, I know it's not exactly historically accurate. I know they threw some things here and there that probably wasn't accurate, but kind of part of that time. But I thought it was well acted, obviously. I mean, come on, man. I mean, the scene that I would say the best ending it was kind of like where the resolution started, right? It was when they're at that train station and he's like, I see a red sash, I kill him. He's like, screw it. He was trying to be fair. He's trying to be like a regular dude that's trying to just make dough, right? And then all this stuff happens, and he's like, you know what? I'm going after all these cats, and it's legal because I'm a marshal. So this dude was like, hell's coming with me. He's just going after all of them. Why not? And that was just real cool. I was just like, dude, this is awesome. And then of course Doc Holliday comes. Man, Val Kilmer's best freaking role ever was art. I mean, there's no argument. I'm sure people will try to be like, oh, he was good. And no,
He was good in Heat, but I would say the
I don't
Tombstone is
care.
his best one.
He was fine in Heat. He wasn't a star at Heat. I'm good with him. I'm good with him in Tombstone. He is the best.
I think you'd find a lot of people arguing for his role in Batman Forever as well.
I was like, I don't know why
I only
he's
know
not
one person
remembering that
that
movie.
argues with me about that.
It's a great piece of movie. I mean,
I only argue with one person about that, and yeah, you
Are
know, I
they
was married
serious
under
on
false
that?
pre. Yes, I was married
Okay.
under false pretenses. Like that, plus another argument we'll bring up another day. That's like, holy crap, I had no idea. It's so funny. But no, Tombstone, and then of course, you know, at the end where he like goes back and gets what's her name, and that's actually somewhat historically accurate. So I was like, all right, cool. Yeah, I love that movie. Like you can't go wrong with that movie. Kind of all over the place on my list, but Blade One. I mean, Jesus. That last major fight scene when he just jumps off the joint, kills his mom's persona. That was when the Boucher Wright was like in the scene. I don't know where she is now. And then he just jumped off that whole ledge, landed down. It was just like Frost. He was like, oh, you know what's about to be on when that techno came on. Man, when that music came on and those cats started running towards him, you knew it was on. That dude just like it was over, man. When that dude, oh yeah, that's right. When he killed dude in like one swoop with and then got his glasses back.
Right.
And the techno music came on, you were like, oh, the whole theater. I mean, I saw it at Union Station in the '90s, so you already know that whole theater was like, oh shoot. Best, that was wonderful. And then at the end, like before the credits came up, that dude's in Russia looking for dude, and he's just like he speaks. He's like, yeah, catch you at a bad time, and then they just man, the way they ended that movie.
Yeah, that was
man. Like we talked about the beginning of that movie, but if we're talking about the ending, best endings, that movie still comes up. Think about that, man. They can't redo that. Only Marvel can really. MCU has to do something for real, which they've done, and to really do that. And the last time I said that was with Spider-Man, of course. So there you go. Okay. So you said no more than 10. I think I have less than 10 here. Sorry. Sideways. Something about that movie where Paul Giamatti's character was just sad, man. You know, I mean, Thomas Hayden Church was a dick. You know what I mean? But I like the playoff of Tom Giamatti and Virginia Madison's character. I can't remember their actual character names right now. But you know, and you know, I'm a whiny, so I love it. But and the ending of that, the way that ended, where she read his book, and then he was like, "All right," and then it just ended with a knock on the door. I'm like, that was very wonderful and very independent film, right? You know what I mean? I love that part. It was just something that was satisfying to me because it's like, no, he found himself. He's like, no, I'm gonna make myself happy. I'm gonna go over here and take this risk, which I don't do. It was perfect. I have Unbreakable on this list, but it pales in comparison to everything else I've said. I just like the fact that it does. I just like the fact that Samuel Jackson had his like his costume, if you will, on, and it was good. You know what I mean? I was just like, oh, that was probably the only M. Night Shyamalan movie that like really felt like, yeah, that's what I wanted to see. You know, not like, holy crap, really, or whatever. But I'm like, yeah, I can see that. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's awesome. Last and so not least, I watch this movie every year because of this ending. It's a Wonderful Life. I don't need to see it colorized, black and white, old school. You know what I mean? Like, yo, that movie. Come on, man. I mean, you want to remake that? I'll probably. Never mind. I won't say that out loud. That's right. Terrorism's happening, but I really will be very that angry. So I was like, please. I would try my best to be like, please don't see this movie ever. Like, they will never be able to remake such a thing if they even tried. Did they try?
I can't imagine them trying. It's one of those
I mean,
ultimate
they did a
classic
Raising in the
films.
Sun.
Yeah,
Tried
but I feel
Raising in the
like
Sun.
that's one of their holy movies. They wouldn't try to change that up. I mean, outside of like a Lifetime kind of spin on it.
Oh yeah, I mean, we've seen this thing everywhere. That theme everywhere on every television show. Pretty much most of the '80s cartoons, right? What I mean, Ducktales did it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Ooh.
Ducktales did it. He-Man did it. Like, you know what I mean? You can. It was. Oh, I think G.I. Joe did it, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it's everywhere. What would your life be like? Captain Planet did it. Like the whole. That's how awesome that movie is. That's it.
It's a good gimmick. Jay King, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right,
I'm
man.
ready.
Let's hear yours.
I'm going to start a couple of them. I'm still going to add them, but even though they've been mentioned because they were just great endings. But I'm going to start with one. No particular order, y'all. Rogue One. I've never watched the end of a movie that made me want to watch the beginning of a movie. You
Yep,
know,
right.
Yeah.
when Darth Vader, when they are scrambling, when the rebel soldiers are scrambling to push that door open, and you hear, and they all stop,
Yeah.
and they turn around and look into that darkness, and that red saber goes, hey, I lost it. I was
Like
like,
they knew what was ahead of them. Like, we need to run.
but where do you go? You can't even move the door. And I
Right.
gotta give the first three dudes, hey, they were soldiers, man. They fought. They shot.
They're
They
like,
they
yo, I
bust
got to
their
do
guns.
something.
And what else am I gonna do here? Hey, but
Oh,
that is a scene in recent movie history that gives you chills. I haven't gotten chills
yeah,
like that watching movies since.
that's
And
real.
that was a good damn movie. But that ending really, it was the icing on the cake for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Next up is 12 Angry Men, the original.
Mm.
I love 12 Angry Men because it's just storytelling. Nothing had to blow up. There was no car chases. Nobody got, it was just drama. And when you got a compelling story to tell and fine acting, it's worth watching, right? You can still watch this and be entertained because you're engulfed in a story. You're raptured. You're caught up in that story, man. And that's what 12 Angry Men does, without all the fancy special effects or anything like that, man. It's just it's a fantastic story. But the ending, I mean, my man proved that you know as I've come to discover, with all the influencers and social media influence and all that, not the sidebar, but people get influenced and not informed. And that movie was that just because you had two or three guys that just wanted to get the hell out of here and go home. You had one guy who had his prejudice, he had his prejudices, and the other things working against. This guy hates immigrants. He hates this, he hates that. People were influenced; they weren't informed, and it just shows you how a life can hang in the balance. If it take a life can hang in the balance. All it takes is one person who is focused on the facts. All it takes is one person who's focused on the facts to get people to see, okay, this is what you think happened. This is what happened. So let's not throw someone's life away. That's why I love that movie. And the end of it, these guys actually, after all of that, all the emotion that was spent in that room, you know, a couple of them actually say, you know what? Hey, man, my name's Joe. What's yours? They actually get to know each other. It was a perfect ending. It was a perfect ending for me for that type of story.
Mm-hmm.
Next is Seven, because I don't know about y'all, but when I saw old girl's head in that box,
The box.
Mm.
it's in the box.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
That
Did you hate her
movie.
character, or you just like the ending?
I mean, Gwyneth Paltrow, right?
But we didn't hate Gwyneth
I,
Paltrow then. That's what I'm trying to
I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. That
She ain't had
ending,
no role though.
yeah, she really didn't have a role. It's just that ending means so much more now after years of Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh wow.
But no, honestly, I'm just joking with that. I'm not really, but honestly, it's a good
Wow.
twist ending, man. It's a
Oh,
good
yeah.
twist ending. It really is, and it just takes you for a loop. And the fact that old boy, that's what his plan was all along, and the bad guy essentially won. I always like some. I don't like some movies when the bad guy wins, especially if they're smart, they're cunning, they're connive. You know what I mean? This guy got what he wanted. Ultimately, he died for his sin, envy.
I love it. I love that
Um,
joint too.
yeah. Next up, Silence of the Lambs, because that was a Hannibal Lecter was just. Hey, look, Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers. You insert. Evil.
Candyman.
Yeah, yeah. You insert any of these pure evil characters, what have you. Nothing compares to the psychotic, the scary intelligence and psychotic nature of Hannibal Lecter. Nothing. There are very few movies, and you can't even really. I don't know what you classify. It's not a horror movie. It's what, thriller, more thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Hannibal Lecter is easily one of the scariest movie villains of all time. Not because he's particularly, scary, dangerous, big hulking, scary, menacing figure. It's no. He'll do something like make you eat your own brain. He'll tear the face off of someone else and plot his way out of his cell. I mean, that people like that scare the shit out of me because they just this the intelligence that's there and the fact that this person is a complete madman. That's scary. And the ending, hey, I'm chilling. I'm in Cuba somewhere. Come find me. I'm playing a cat and mouse game with y'all. Y'all never find me. And they really didn't. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. If you like westerns, that's one of the best endings of any western. Um, it's a long movie, but the payoff is the end, man. It's funny and at the same time, it's just classic Clint Eastwood being a jerk. It's just being a damn jerk at the end of that movie. They go through all this trouble for a treasure that ain't even there. Next is Dead Presidents.
Hmm.
If nobody remembers Dead Presidents, that was a movie starring Lorenz Tate, Chris Tucker, Keith David, a few other folks, Bokeem Woodbine. Young man goes to Vietnam War, comes home, and everything's upside down. The end of that movie, though, after they commit the robbery and everything that transpires after that, Chris Tucker's character's OD, Bokeem Woodbine's character goes nuts after the robbery and starts handing out money, in Mount Vernon, whatever they were. And Lorenz Tate and Kirby, man, his OG trying to get out of there and get a step ahead of the cops. They come in, man, and they bust him, and they're in that courtroom, and he's trying to garner sympathy from the judge, I think, who was Martin Sheen. And
Yep.
he points to his service as a Marine in the Vietnam War, and Martin Sheen's character, the judge just eviscerates him, by saying, I was a Marine and I fought in Korea or whatever, a real war, by the way. And for you to hide behind your service and expect leniency, and the way he says, "I'm sentencing you to life," and he drops that gavel, and Lorenz Tate says, "Man, what the he mean life? All I done gave this country," and he throws that chair. Hey, you'd have thought that was you'd have thought he was getting life for real. It's nothing sweet about it. It's just he acted the hell out of that scene, man, and it was unfortunate. It's not a happy ending, but it's a real ending. That's how it goes, you know. I wasn't expecting him and Kirby to ride off into the sunset, and they didn't give us that. They gave us the hard reality. Um, I love the ending of The Departed, even though The Departed was super Boston. The Departed's ending, man, everybody was getting a headshot. Number one, it was like
Right.
it was like an Oprah studio, so everybody, you get a headshot, you get a headshot. But what sealed the deal is when your boy Matt Damon, that snake bastard, goes into his apartment and he sees Marky Wahlberg holding that silenced pistol with the hospital booties on. He's like, all right, I know. Yeah, he has no words. He's like, I know, I earned it. He
Right.
gets popped in the head, and my man just walks right out, perfect. And then you see the rat crawling on the bed.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved it. Next up, Trading Places, because the Duke brothers were pure evil, but it was a funny movie. But the ending, man, They got them back so hard. And after they ruined the Duke brothers, hey, $1. I don't know how many times. There's so many quotables for that movie, but $1. And to see them on the beach, man, crack crab or lobster, I love it every time, man. Love that movie. That's my list.
That is a good list. All right, I just decided to make a few adjustments to my list because y'all said a few that I had, so I wanted to come up with some different ones. My first choice is maybe one of my most satisfying endings. It is the entire last segment of 8 Mile when Rabbit starts destroying that crew. And he just goes in on them and just I love it. That, with the beats and just the way Eminem just rips them, it is so satisfying after they just leave him broken, beaten down. Wade sleeps with his girl and he's just bumped three world or third world. Free world.
Free
That's what
World.
it is. Yeah, thank you. But I love that. So that always gets me hyped up. I'm like, all right, now let's go do the thing. I would have said Godfather, but Jace took it, so I'm gonna go with Godfather 2 because I love how that ending shows how innocent, sweet, and naive Michael was, and then he's sitting in the backyard, and the leaves are just like the withered, fallen leaves are just blowing around in the wind, and Michael's just sitting there like, "What the heck have I done? I've killed my brother. I lost one of my right hand mans. I've just basically ended my marriage and my wife has aborted one of our kids because I'm such a terrible person." I just love it because there's so much you can read into what Al Pacino is thinking as Michael Corleone in that moment where it's just like, dude, you have become a mess. And I just wish that part three did a better job of filling in what he was actually thinking because it just makes him such a sucker. And I hate the way that whole trilogy ends as a result. But the part two really
The
ends
third
it
one?
on a great yeah. Yes. I'm gonna go a little modern because I figured I'd mix it up a bit. John Wick Chapter 2. That ending is superb. When he starts off in the museum and then he's going after the dude, and it's like, "Oh, you can't kill me, sucker, because I am in the Continental," and it's like, "Oh shoot!" And then that's like that is just like that would have been a perfect ending. But then the whole next part of, yeah, well, I've given you a whole hour, and he's like, "Winston, tell him whoever comes for me, I'll kill them all." And it's like, oh shoot, bring on chapter 3. So yeah, that's definitely on there. Another cliffhanger because apparently that's the theme for me in these movies. Kill Bill Volume 1. The moment Beatrice steps into that club, where it's just that long pan shot, that long tracking shot to when she is ripping arms off and says, "Leave them here. They belong to me." Orinishi. Love it. And the last scene where she's like talking to her in the trunk and like, "I am going to kill." And it's like, dude, this sequel is going to be the best movie, and it wasn't. But that first one had me really. No, dude, I just
It
can't.
was it was
I'll
a it was
I'll
a cool
explain that one
down.
later to you later.
Yeah, we need to
Yeah,
have another.
yeah. We could discuss that one because yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on that one. Another one that nobody said that I just really liked the ending for was Lucky Number 11. Um,
Hmm.
I just love how that whole thing was set up, where it's like, oh shoot, Bruce Willis is a gangster assassin, killed a little kid, and the way they told the story was done in a way so it wasn't like, oh, okay, y'all were just hiding everything so we wouldn't find out. But it was told in a way where it was like, oh, you guys are trusting that what he was saying was the truth. So, yeah, I really like the way that played out. And it was just a fun movie. I have to go with Empire Strikes Back because it is one of my all time favorite cliffhangers. It is just like everything. For the moment Luke lands on Bespin. He's got his gun cocked, and it's like, oh shoot, it's a trap. Goes in and starts fighting Vader. Leia, Lando, and Chewie start escaping. And then that lightsaber fight in Cloud City, still my favorite just because of the lighting and the red and the blue going against each other. Just such a great movie. And then it's like, in the end, it leaves you with that notion of, okay, maybe things are going to be okay. We'll just have to wait and see. One that ends in a way that is definitely not everything's gonna be okay is the Baz Luhrmann version of Romeo and Juliet because he takes this story that we all know how it's going to end, but he screws with you just a little bit to make you think that maybe this is going to end that way. And it's like that flicker of her hand, and Romeo totally misses it because he's grieving, and then she starts to come alive right before he kills himself. I love the way that plays out because of how cool he was setting up the lighting. I love that ending. It's really good. And my last two, even though my wife told me not to be predictable, but I'm also going to be different. Infinity War. I loved how that was set up. It was just this fun, rollicking comic book blockbuster, and then it just got way dark. The Joker snaps his hands. Cap goes, Thor, where'd he go? What it cost you? Oh, everything. And Joker starts fading out, and the audience goes quiet. And that is probably one of the most fun movie going experiences I've had because of how quiet the theater was, because people who weren't up on the comic were just totally shocked that they would end the movie like this. So, and then Cap's last words, oh God, and Thanos smiling is like, oh shoot, we're in for it. So naturally, my last one is Avengers Endgame, because that culminates everything with this Marvel Studios ride, and it is so satisfying if you've been in these films right from the jump, from Tony Stark going, I am Iron Man, calling back all the way to the first film. And Iron Man, I really gave some really strong consideration to being on my list too, just because it was so unpredictable. But with that, and then Cap getting his dance with with Peggy, it was so satisfying. So yeah, that's my list. Top 10 favorite, most satisfying movie endings. I would have said Rogue One, Javon, because that ending was crazy. Just the whole fact that all of the heroes that we got invested in over the course of this movie died. And unlike some other films, I actually felt those characters' death. It was like, geez, man, they're all going to get killed. It's like, shoot. And then all the rebels, it's like, oh man. But then they leave us that nice ending where it's like, yeah, you want to pop in Star Wars right now. So yeah, definitely.
The other great thing about that is like, wait, once you get invested in the movie, like, why did we know about these characters and before they,
Yeah.
and the New Hope?
It's like,
that's why.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it's like, man, these characters are so much fun. Let's see more. Oh, okay. That explains everything.
New Hope it is.
Yeah, so absolutely. All right, fellas, what are your nominees for Dummies of the Week? Let's start with Chief.
My dummy of the week has to be that baseball player, the pitcher, who got arrested for messing with the minor. He, for whatever reason, he started messing with a girl when she was like 13. Now she's 15, and he's been sending like explicit pictures on the phone, and like the mother caught him and saw the pictures, and I'm like, like, yo, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, you're a major league baseball player messing with a child. So now,
What?
he's in jail without the bail. And, that it just didn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? I don't get it, but I mean, it's not for me to get anyways, I guess. So, but yeah, he's my dummy of the week. I don't know what to say about that. You bringing in millions of dollars a year, and you want to mess with children? All right.
Well, that's definitely a good nominee. Jace, how about you?
All right. My nominee is actually going to be for whoever even put the bug in somebody's ear to remake Princess Bride. I mean, I know Gunner went in early, but it was just like, I mean, even the cast of Princess Bride is like, usually, they do like the diplomatic thing, like, hey, I'm sure they might have a different interpretation, it might be fun. They're like, nah, this is trash. Do not let them do this. It's like Wesley Carl Ells, he was like, yeah, making a remake of this would be inconceivable. It's like, yeah, you cannot do this movie again. There was nothing you can do to build off the old movie. It was fantasy, very nice movie. Trying to put this in 2019, probably 2020. It's like, no, stop. Like, talk to somebody else. Ask them what they have on the. What? Ask some kid who's in LA right now. What do you have as a screenplay? We'll make this instead. Like, that's a far better idea. So, whoever thought that was a good idea, my dummy of the week.
Gunner, how about you?
I'm still gonna say Sony for keeping Spider-Man on the plantation a little bit. The Spider-Man sharecropped a bit. I don't like it. I heard a rumor that Sony's stalling because Apple might buy Sony or some crap. I don't know how much that rumor is completely true or not, but just in case it's true, you heard it here first on Loud Movie Files. Yes, which I guess, would make sense, but, they want to keep as much money as possible. But I've thought that if Sony gets bought, then the rights revert right back to Marvel Studios and we'll be fine, which would be wonderful. And we won't get another Venom movie, or the Morbius movie, or whatever the hell.
I actually have a friend who actually really is into that. Those contracts are so convoluted. No one really knows who the owners are. Like, we think Sony is the owner, but no one is really 100% sure.
Great.
In that reversion clause, because if that was the case, it always should have reverted back to Marvel like years ago. So it's one of those situations. Apple would be quite happy to say, hey, if they bought them, they'd be like, hell yeah, go ahead and make a movie. We don't care. We have no pride in this. We just want to make money.
Right. Like, Apple would be down either way. So,
our joke of a movie studio was like ridiculous, but no, they'd be like, sure, have fun.
Exactly.
Just cut us in.
Can we put some of this Marvel content on? I know you got Disney Plus. Can we put this on our stuff? Okay, thanks.
Happy swell. Jay King, how about you?
Man, it's a toss-up, man, because I want to go with Dave East for being probably the first person in history for going to jail for having a threesome.
Elaborate, please.
For those that don't know. Huh?
Oh, yeah, you got to tell me this story.
Okay. All right, so the rapper Dave East, New York rapper, he was in Vegas, and he got two chicks to come back to the room, to a suite, and he just getting into it, getting unhappy with the girls or whatever, and so I guess he was paying one more attention than the other, and the other chick wigs out, and a fight ensues, and I guess he hit the girl, or she says he hit her. He hit her, and police are called. And what should have been a great night ends up with him in handcuffs and facing 2 years.
Worst night ever.
Yeah, right.
Damn.
Hey, it was all good. It was all good an hour ago, right?
Man, jeez.
Guess it's supposed to be a 50-50 deal, not 75-25.
So there's him.
Wow.
And right.
Damn.
I mean, yeah.
All wheels.
I don't know, Javon. This second dude's gonna have to be a real dummy for me to go against this dude.
Dude.
I mean, yeah,
wow.
that's a rough shot, isn't it?
That's like there's not a lowercase font L I can possibly find for that. Like, that's a L.
Yeah.
like
that's an L.
Old.
You're a rapper. You think this is the start of this is what I'm gonna have for the next 10 years.
I'm gonna make 5 songs on this.
I'm going to jail for that. Oh.
Yeah. I'm going to jail.
Wow.
I had a threesome. At least a
to ride all three. You're supposed to, on a tricycle, you got to ride on all 3 wheels at the same time.
There you go. That's
all I got to say.
I mean, I want to include Antonio Brown because he's been having the worst week. And people just can't stop suing this guy. And The one that got me was him in the doctor's office just farting in his doctor's
Yeah, like the doctor's mad as hell because he's farting in front of his face.
I'm just like, what the hell, man? Just play football. What are you doing? Like,
Okay.
you're filming the worst reality show ever. Showing up to training camp in a hot air balloon.
This would have been hilarious as a reality show.
Dude, let me tell you
Besides,
something.
besides the race drives, like that right there sounds like a reality show.
Hey, Jace, his last 7 months alone, you showed up to your press conference with a blonde mustache. With a blonde mustache.
Like, please release me.
Please release me. I'm crazy.
Like saying Pearl Jam will release me.
Then you cap it off by showing up to training camp with a damn hot air balloon. You freeze your feet off.
And frostbite foot. Yeah.
Then you say, I don't want to wear this helmet. I want to wear my Pop Warner helmet. You're filming the funniest reality show ever. It's seriously, this could be an episode of Ballers or something like that, man. It's straight comedy.
No,
A whole
this
season
is
of
Curb Your
Ballers.
Enthusiasm. This is Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah, that's exactly what it
This
is.
man was trying his best to get fired.
You're
and
right.
He can't.
So I don't know, man. It's a toss-up between them two, man.
I'm gonna go with my boy. I'm gonna go with
I'm
a
gonna
rapper.
do a little threesome. Yeah.
Yeah, he's that dude's got it.
I think threesome dude.
That was intentional decisions he made this week.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, dude, come on. Yeah,
Like,
you
you
have
do
two
better.
hands. You know, come on.
You
One
figured it
tongue,
out,
though.
dog.
Jeez. My nominee is not as stupid as that boy, but mine is pretty silly as well. It's all these NFL rankers and dudes getting on the hype train for one Dakota Prescott after he's whooped up on the Giants and the Redskins defense, thinking this is finally the year that he turns the corner and takes them to the promised land.
No.
Dak is not a winner.
Hey, he's gonna be a winner for Cowboys fans in like 2 years when they're like, why do we still have this dude?
Yo.
Hey, we'll look up. Check back with me in week 8.
An honorable mention to the Giants GM who thought that they could actually ride Eli the whole season. Yeah.
Hey, is it just me that Eli look like he owns a shitty pizza place in Queens right now? He looks haggard.
Oh my God.
Hey, hello.
No, we need this giant hate to stop, man.
We can talk about whatever you want, but we're not gonna have no fucking disrespectful Giants talk on this channel. So no, okay. That's what we're not gonna do.
Oh, jeez.
I said honorable mention,
That's what we're
Chief.
not gonna do. You know what I mean?
Hey, look it. I told you that your boy was gonna be out there in the field. I think he's gonna do.
Hey,
well.
listen. Hold on. What we share in private is not something we share with the fans.
That's right. You're right.
So
that's a
listen,
foul on me.
there will be no Giants disrespect on the open podcast.
That's not disrespect. That's legit. I think y'all can be in good shape. Watch what I say.
Hey, and before we leave here tonight, man, shout out to HBO for renewing the Boondocks
What?
for 24 episode
What?
Yes.
joint.
Yes.
Huh?
On HBO Max.
Oh, that's happening.
Yep.
Yeah, if we're going to
Oh,
do
that's
a
a
House
bet.
to the Dummies of the Week, that is it.
That's
Yeah.
hero of the week right there.
That's the hero of the week. Thank you. Aaron Magruder's back. Thanks for bringing that back up. Jeez.
Dude, I cannot imagine what the first 3 episodes are gonna be. I just can't imagine.
It's going
You
to be
know how
on
much has
HBO.
happened? You realize how much has happened since the last?
I have to make it a
Boondocks?
double-sized episode.
Jeez. Oh man.
All I need them to do is bring back Dave Chappelle and put it back to back with that, and Black Lady comedy show, sketch show, like that 3.5 hour right there. Man, that's like Fox back in the 90s right there, man.
Black
Only
Lady
curse.
sketch show is insane.
That joint is hilarious.
Hey man,
It started off slow, but so did Chappelle.
Oh,
show,
it just
but
it's a steamroller now.
It's yeah. I'm like, oh, God. They're going in now. I love it.
Good deal. All right, fellas. Well, I love this episode. Hope y'all did out there. Thank y'all for rolling with me. This episode of Lyle's Movie Files has been filed.